The next thing we're going to talk about are tone woods. Guitars use a variety of different types of woods to achieve certain tones. For example, on this Dreadnought Martin, mahogany on the sides and on the back. Mahogany is kind of a low velocity wood. It doesn't have a lot of output, but think of mahogany as woody. It really sounds like wood. It's a wonderful tone. It's used in a variety of different instruments, both acoustic and electric. A lot of guitars designed for country, blues, pop, they use mahogany. Spruce is very common for the soundboard, for the top of an acoustic guitar. It's a lightweight wood, but it's really strong, and that's what makes it very desirable for acoustics. It's also really loud. Again, that's what makes it very desirable for acoustics, because the sound really projects. It's that combination of the mahogany and the spruce, as well as all the other attributes that we're talking about, that make this guitar sound the way that it does. This Greg Bennett Royale, a semi-hollow electric, also uses a mahogany back and sides. It's actually all one piece in this particular guitar. But mahogany is great for this, again, because this style of guitar is often used in blues, or as I was mentioning, in country or pop. That mahogany, that low velocity mahogany, but really warm, woody sound is nice. On the electric guitar here, though, it's using a maple top. This is a nice, beautiful, curly maple top. Maple's very common for electric guitars, and the reason is that it actually sounds a little flat, but that's really nice for electric guitars because it sounds great when it's amplified. Curly maple, not only does it look beautiful, but it actually has a tonal characteristic as well. Because of all the curls, it allows the wood to vibrate a little bit more freely. It almost brings it a brighter and clearer characteristic than you would get from just a normal maple top. So not only does it look great, but that brightness and clarity really complements the woody and warm characteristics of the mahogany. This neck also happens to be mahogany. So again, couple of different tone woods in this guitar, and it makes for a beautiful sounding instrument. This Martin uses a spruce top like most acoustic guitars, but it's a shallow body, and instead of mahogany, it's using rosewood, East Indian rosewood, on the back and sides. In contrast to mahogany, rosewood is a little bit more powerful sounding. It's probably the reason why it's used on a shallow body. It gives it a little bit more amplification, acoustic amplification. Rosewood is like a great cup of coffee. It's dark and it's rich. It's a really wonderful sound. To have that dark richness and power really makes for a nice guitar, especially when you combine it with a spruce top. Rosewood is also a favorite of mine and many guitar players for a fingerboard. I love the way rosewood feels, and it also sounds great, again, because it's got that dark richness to it. By contrast, a maple neck is brighter and poppier, so you'll see a lot of guitars may choose to have a maple neck, especially depending on the woods that they've used for the rest of it, which may have a darker character. It's all about that balancing act. Now, regardless of what wood is used on top, whether it's a beautiful curly maple or tiger stripe, the wood underneath is obviously very important too. We already talked about how mahogany is used in a lot of guitars, but alder is another really, really popular wood to use. And the reason is it's lightweight, yet it's full, rich, and powerful. So it's actually one of my favorite woods for an electric guitar. So those are some of the most common woods that are used in guitar construction. And you should have a pretty good idea now of how they influence the sound. But there are others. There's ebony, which has a bit of a dampening effect. There's ash, and there's koa. Koa is a beautiful exotic wood, really nice figuring. Wonderful to look at, has a nice sound too. So when you go to your store, explore all the different woods, and just remember that they work in context with everything else, but they certainly have a strong influence on your tone.